very quick, short, your about yourself, your extracurricular, your few 3-4 sentences.
Right, sir. So my name is Neha. I come from Erode, Tamil Nadu. I did my schooling from the Indian Public School, Erode. Post that, I did my graduation from PSG College of Arts and Science in BSc Psychology. I was involved in NCC activities during that time. I also wrote few essays during my college years. After that, since my graduation in 2022, I started preparing for this exam. This is my first attempt, sir. My hobbies include blogging, commenting about movies, and writing poetry in free verse.
Very nice, Neha. Thank you very much for your introduction. One choice of your cadres and services in your DAP. Just saw
Right,
that in one of the services, I suppose IAS or IPS, you have chosen Rajasthan as your zone 1 and state 1. I suppose I just saw. It is a little interesting. You're from Tamil Nadu, you're also maybe from that state. But you are
right,
chosen in IAS or IPS, I don't know, chosen as a zone 1. That zone 1, and they are in that zone, Rajasthan is the number 1 cadre.
right, sir.
Have you done why? I mean, is there a specific reason for that?
So I think I chose Maharashtra as my first.
Rajasthan and Maharashtra, one of them, yes.
Right, sir. So I feel more related to Maharashtra. I have been with people who are from Maharashtra, so I can relate to people more. So I think that is one reason I chose Maharashtra there, sir.
Very nice. I mean, that really shows your cosmopolitan way of thinking.
Right,
Another interesting from your DAP only, it comes that you have done a survey, not a survey, is a project. All
right,
the mental effect of COVID-19 on the medical professionals.
right,
What
sir.
you're finding, what did you find out in this project?
Right, sir. So this project was conducted in April and May of 2020. So it was the first reaction that mental health professionals had towards COVID, sir. And it was astonishing for me as a psychology student and as a common person that they had minimal aberrations in the general functioning, general mental health, sir. So that
That
was a major
was
finding.
limited to Erode area or entire Tamil Nadu?
So it was across India, sir.
Across India. So did you do by questionnaire survey, or you had written letter, email to them and response, or you prepared questionnaires?
So
Uh,
yes. So we mailed them questionnaires, and the questionnaires were made from the standardized questionnaires of WHO and other reputed institutions. We also ensured that we were on the call and gave them instructions while they filled the online questionnaires.
Now, interesting topic, COVID. Now, COVID time, they said the India, it was a pandemic of maybe 100 years, maybe after this Spanish flu, there were nothing of that similar nature.
Right, sir.
But still, they say India, because of the lack of infrastructure at the lower level, at the village level, at the small town level, India, like many other countries, suffered horribly, and
Right,
the major casualty could have been avoided had the basic infrastructure be in place. So, as a related, your both the parents are in medical profession. So, as
right,
a corrected person, what is your impression, and how in one COVID has not gone? It's still coming in between coming, and the other pandemics are around the corner. So, as a professional, not maybe a medical man, but somebody corrected. What will be your, suppose you are given a power as a health secretary of government of India, you have become. So, what will be a
right,
suggestion to the prime minister or your own state, say Maharashtra chief minister? What will be your suggestions? Basic 4, 5, 5, 6 suggestions, short term, long term.
right, sir. So as you mentioned, it was a once in a lifetime event, the COVID-19 pandemic, and it is recurring. So as the health secretary, my measures short term would be to encourage awareness among the people and to ensure that there are regular serum surveys and surveys regarding the prevailing genome in the ecosystem. So that will be one major thing, so that there can be prevention measures that can be taken at fast, and energy can be mobilized when there's a pandemic or epidemics. Secondly, my another measure would be to encourage communication between the PHCs and both private and government, the hospitals, so that the infrastructure is effectively utilized and mobilization is faster. So thirdly, my long-term goals would be to ensure that the infrastructure in medicine is properly developed through public-private partnerships or through telemedicine and other new age technologies. And secondly, I'll also ensure that people are more aware of the amount of precautions that should be taken in case of each disease. Yes, sir.
No, at the grassroots level, improving the medical services is a dream, is a focus of the government of India also, and lately the Ayushman Bharat, as an insurance project for the people at the lower level, the downtrodden, and not only in the villages but also in big cities. Which is this Ayushman Bharat, the project is such a mega project, all pan India. Has it been a success? And if it is no, then what should have been done? And we have lost the opportunity. I mean, it's still going on. We can still improve it. But what are the improvements which should be done? Ayushman Bharat.
Yes. So Ayushman Bharat is a major scheme that can help in revolutionizing the healthcare sector. Firstly, the insurance policy is 5 lakhs per family that can help in tertiary and secondary care as well. So that is a major step. And they're also increasing the infrastructure through the Ayushman Bharat health and wellness centers. They're also bridging the mental health gaps through the same. So that is a major step, and I think it's a welcome step. But there are problems in linkages between the hospitals, ensuring that there's an instant flow of cash so that the treatment can be faster. For this, the government itself has come up with initiatives like the digital registry and bringing a digital mode to the mission, sir. So I think we are on the right path, sir.
Okay, my last question is a little away from this medical sector. Right. Suppose you, God willing, you get into Maharashtra cadre and you are in charge of the this thing, Maharashtra the development sector. Now, right. I ask you as a Maharashtra has a lot of tourism potential. So I ask you as a tourism secretary there, what more should be done? First of all, what are the main tourism circuits in Maharashtra? Entire Maharashtra, and what more should be done to make it Maharashtra the best tourism place rather than Madhya Pradesh? Madhya Pradesh nowadays is the best tourism place, not Maharashtra. But what are the main potentials of Maharashtra, number one? And number two, what should be done to make it even better? That means the number one in India rather than Madhya Pradesh.
Right, sir. Yes, sir. So the major circuits in Maharashtra, as much as I can recall, is the Elephanta Caves and the Heritage Circuit there. And the Mumbai city itself is a major hub for tourism. So the way we can improve the tourism.
Well, there are other hubs also. You have left only Maharashtra, Bombay, and Elephanta. That is one. But there are so many others. Please, Western Maharashtra, then Konkan coast. There are so many. What are those others?
Sir, I should brush my knowledge on that.
Okay,
sir.
Fine. Then suppose you are now given a job to improve and make it the number one in the country.
Right, sir. So I'll ensure that there's more people connect to the tourism sector. There's homestays and more involvement of cultural tourism in the sector, firstly, sir. And secondly, I'll also ensure that the natural heritage in the region is also given emphasis on. Yes, sir.
What about there are beautiful, those Western Ghats, there are beautiful ecological forest, and there are the Ghats actually. Lonavala, Khandala, those areas. What about those? Are they ecologically threatened, or you can do ecological tourism there? I mean, what is your impression of that?
So I think we can bring in ecological tourism there by increasing the amount of footfall, firstly through advertising the sites and bringing in more infrastructural amenities there. Again, we can encourage homestays and eco spots where trekking and other forms of adventure activities can also be built, sir.
Thank you, Neha. Prahulji, will you please take over?
Okay. Neha, you did a BSc in psychology,
Yes, sir.
and your subject is also psychology.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the difference between clinical psychology and industrial psychology?
Right, sir. So, in clinical psychology, the major subjects that are taught are abnormal psychology and psychotherapy, sir. So, it is basically dealing with the clinical settings, how to rehabilitate the patient and treat the client when they come in, sir. But in industrial psychology, there's a broader role, and a setting of corporates is involved, where recruitment, sensitivity training within the employees, and other kind of trainings like encouraging group activities, encouraging bonding between the employees is ensured, sir.
Is clinical psychology somewhat akin to psychiatry, or it is totally different?
So a psychiatrist mainly deals with patients with high sense of psychotic disorders, and they also prescribe medicines mostly, sir. But as a clinical psychologist, we are involved in therapy and rehabilitating the patients, sir.
Counseling, basically.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in the modern times, there are a lot of cases of depression.
Right, sir.
Even celebrities who have no dearth of money or any luxury, they also suffer from depression.
Right, sir.
For example, Deepika Padukone, she
Right, sir.
herself confessed that she suffered from depression.
Right, sir.
So, what can be the cause of such depression, and how do you handle them?
Right, sir. So depression is a serious clinical problem, and the prevalence is also very high, sir. So the causes of depression can be one, comparing ourselves with other people who are rich and affluent, and even when we are affluent, there's always a relative deprivation component, sir. So that is one reason, sir. And secondly, it can be to biological reasons like reduced amount of serotonin secretions within the body, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
In Tamil Nadu, especially,
Right, sir.
they practice Dravidian politics.
Right,
So,
sir.
starting from Annadurai. And,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
but recently, there has been some anti-Sanatan sentiments.
Right, sir.
What can be the reason? Is it necessary?
So I think there have been comments about anti-Sanatan movements, and it was very personal to the particular leader, sir. And it is not regarding the politics of the state is concerned as well, sir. So I think there is a there is a need to be separating the freedom of expression and the uh, responsibility one owes to keeping the polity straight in the states, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Your second preference is Indian Police Service.
Right, sir.
So these three new laws that have been passed now, they are arts actually.
Right, sir.
So what are the two positives and two negatives?
Right. So the two positives that I can think of right now is gender equality that it gives. It has included transgender rights as well, and it has also ensured that women rights are given higher calling here. And secondly, sir, there's provisions for community service as a rehabilitative measure. This moves our judicial system and our criminal justice system to a more rehabilitative and reformative stage, sir. So, and the two negatives or the challenges that I can think of is one, there is increased amount of police custody time that is given, sir. And secondly, there is a need to improve the infrastructure before bringing in such reforms, because it might be taxing on the implementation parts, sir.
Okay.
Right.
You, you comment on movies.
Right, sir.
It's only Tamil movies or Hindi movies
So I do comment on Hindi movies as well, sir.
as well. Okay, let me take a film,
Right.
Adi Purush.
Right,
It
sir.
was, I think, both in Tamil and in Hindi.
Right, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So how will you comment about Adi Purush?
So I haven't watched the movie Adi Purush, sir, but I heard that it was a beautiful movie of Ramayan being shown in a very beautiful way, sir, in a cinematic way.
Okay.
Yes.
What is your dream India?
Right. So my dream India is the India where people are more politically participative, especially at the grassroots level, be it in rural areas and in urban areas, sir. And I want India to be socially equal and reduced of all inequalities that are persisting due to caste, religion, etc. So, and thirdly, I want India to be technologically sound, be self-reliant, and exploit its potential in every way, so that we can be the best of the technology through R&D and other ways.
Is it possible to achieve what you are dreaming with all this caste politics, religious divide, north-south divide?
So I think it is very much possible, sir, with increased literacy and increasing amount of awareness among people, the increasing cohesion that we see today in the society. I think it is possible soon, sir.
You are quite an optimistic. Okay, Dada.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. Would you please take over? Dr. Agarwal.
Good afternoon, Neha.
Good
I'm
afternoon, sir.
finding discussion with you very, very good, and let us see how we go about it. So we start with this Indian polity, like the Tamil Nadu was in center of politics till till the first Governor General was in the politics. But
Right.
by and by, after K. Kamraj, falling from the grace with Indira Gandhi, I think that Congress also has gone down and the regional parties took charge of Tamil Nadu. What do you expect?
Right.
Whether the national parties have any would have any major role in near future or another 10, 12 years in Tamil Nadu to bring it in mainstream? Presently, it looks like that it has gone out of the mainstream.
Right. So I think Tamil Nadu has regional parties which are dominating right now, sir. But I think there are alliances with the national parties, and there can be expectations of a more synergistic approach in the future, sir.
It's a very, very small reply. Would like to elaborate on it, or don't want to talk about it a bit more?
So I'd like to elaborate on it. So I think we are, as a state, Tamil Nadu is being more represented through its regional parties. People feel more closer to the regional parties through the attention that they give. I think the national parties have to ensure that their foothold is more in the region and ensure that they are more close towards people, so that they can encourage the masses to believe in them, trust in them, and then gain the public trust and the votes as well, sir.
My last question on this part is that what should the national parties do to again get into the mainstream in Tamil Nadu?
Right, sir. So I'm not a expert in electoral politics, sir, but I would like to give a few suggestions. Yes.
Yes, I'm listening, and the
Yes.
board is also listening.
Right, sir. So I think one thing can be increasing the amount of visits and importance to the Tamil Nadu states. firstly, there should be more leadership-based visits, and there should be more foothold of the parties, more party houses in Tamil Nadu, so that there's more interaction with the people, sir. Thirdly, there should be more interest of the people, should be more represented and encouraged as well, sir, in the national politics.
Okay, thank you. I come to this, you are a very good student of English also.
Right.
So, like to have a comparison of yours of the woman being portrayed by Jane Austen or Thomas Hardy in their novels. Like to give any comparison of the writing styles, and the how they portrayed a woman in their era.
Right. So I haven't read much of Thomas Hardy, if I'm not wrong, sir. But I have read a few of Jane Austen, like the Pride and Prejudice, etc., sir. And I feel Jane Austen.
You have not read Tess of the Arbor Willis and some other very famous novels of Thomas Hardy, Mayor of Casterbridge and others. Yeah.
I haven't read, so
Okay.
I would definitely like to read on it.
So whatever you want to say about Jane Austen's style, and if you have read Charles Dickens, I would like to have comparison with Charles Dickens and Jane Austen.
Right, sir. So I haven't read much of Charles Dickens as well, sir, because English was mostly an elective.
Then we leave this question. I come to psychology.
Right, sir.
Come to psychology. You must have, you're a daughter of a doctor, and a lot of knowledge of yours was I heard when other panelists were asking you about the clinical psychology. So, what is the difference between the psychotic depression and the neurotic depression? Do you know about it?
Right. So psychotic diseases are mostly disorders where people are away from reality. They do not understand or comprehend reality, and they are disoriented from it. But in neurotic disorders, we see that they are very much in line with the present and the background, but they are unable to meet their needs. They are in a stressed mode. They're anxious throughout the disorder, sir.
So what is obsession and obsession, obsessive compulsive neurosis?
Yes, sir. So obsession is the repeated thoughts that come into our minds, and compulsion is the activities that follow it. In obsession compulsive disorder, there is a thought that repeats in the person's mind, and there is a ritual that is followed.
What do you see in a lady of 40 years? What type of obsession you see in general?
So I am unable to characterize.
Like a woman is very much about the cleanliness. So what will she do in the home?
Right. So in extreme cases, there can be constant washing of hands, washing and cleaning of the house, etc., sir.
Okay, last question on psychology is what is the difference between split personality and depressions, psychotic depression?
Right, sir. So in split personality, the person manifests 2 or 3 or more personalities and acts according to that at different states. And often the person is not aware of the multiple personalities that are within the individual. But in case of psychotic depression, there is a deep realization angle.
Chairman, sir, I have 1 or 2 questions more, or I finished?
One. Doctor, we one more. Make it last one.
Okay, my last question, NEHAA, is about the relations of India with the US. What do you have to say India's relation with the US and comparison of India's relation with USSR, and what should be the how India should strive apart from now onwards?
Right, sir. So India's relationship with US has grown in the past few years, sir, especially after signing of the recent ICET agreement, where the technology and critical energy energy and technology is shared between the nations, And there's also technology sharing in case of jets and military vehicles as well, sir. And there's also trade that has always been a major. In fact, India has a trade surplus when it comes to the USA. So I think we are faring well, sir. But there are a few tensions when it comes to the USA regarding the Khalistan issue that is going on and the terrorists of India that are residing in USA, sir. But when it comes to when it comes to Indian and Russian relations, we are faring very well, sir. There is a strategic and partnership between both the countries, and both the countries are very encouragetive of each other. And Russia is a all-time ally and all-time friend of India, sir. So I think.
But what is happening to India? USSR allies, like USSR is more allied with China, because China is the biggest threat to India.
Right.
And there we see that USSR is not coming to our, will not come to our support. Don't you think so?
So India has always ensured that we are strategic in our relations, and we are always autonomous, and we are not dependent on anybody else. And Russia is always our friend and ally, and we'll always ensure that our relations are stable, sir.
Sir, one more question if you allow.
Yeah, last question.
My last question is, how do you see that a vice president of America, an Indian person is standing in the election, Indian origin, who may go try for the American presidency, and UK Prime Minister is of Indian origin? What is your take on this? And whether this type of positions will help India to grow or not, or it's only a statement?
So Indian diaspora is making its ways through political excellence, especially the higher excellence in other regions of the world. So it is very encouraging sign for India. I think we have our own interests, and the interest of the country, of each president or the prime minister, should be their first goal. But there will be a soft corner for India. I definitely think there will be, sir.
Okay, thank you. I hand it over.
Dr. Madam, will you please take over?
Hello, Neha.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Neha, good afternoon. Neha, tell me, how, in your opinion, is the Indian economy faring?
Ma'am, Indian economy is one of the fastest growing economies post-COVID, and we have been resilient. That is very encouraging sign, ma'am. And our growth rate for this whole year has been above 7%. The predictions has been above 7%. The tax revenue, as far as the direct tax revenue, has nearly touched 80% of the mark, and we still have 3 more months left for the ending of this year, financial year, ma'am. So I think we are faring well, but there are inflationary trends that are happening. So we should be mindful of that, ma'am.
All right, you were talking about deprivation. Tell me, how is deprivation different from poverty, or are they the same?
Ma'am, poverty and deprivation are different, ma'am. I think poverty has a standard line which defines poverty. Like the poverty line, the people above poverty line are not regarded to be in poverty, and the ones below are regarded to be in poverty, ma'am. But when it comes to deprivation, it is more relative. A person who is above the poverty line can be socially deprived from another as well, ma'am. Socially, economically, and other ways deprived, ma'am.
Neha, what is a poverty line? How would you define it?
Ma'am, poverty line is a set standard criteria which decides what poverty is. It can be measured through the amount of calories or through the amount of money that can ensure basic necessities, ma'am. It is usually decided by a committee, ma'am.
What is it currently in India, urban India?
Ma'am, I should brush up on that, ma'am.
Have you any idea where do we rank on the HDI index?
Ma'am, I should check upon that as well.
All right. Tell me which is the most important parameter of development? Single most important parameter of development.
Ma'am, development is a very holistic concept, but I think economic power is a major indicator of development, because I feel economic power can ensure that there is better infrastructure, better social indicators, and improvement in that as well, ma'am.
What is economic power?
Ma'am, economic power can be per capita income, or the whole GDP of the country, ma'am.
Now, if you were to segregate economies into developed economies and underdeveloped economies, tell me what are the two criteria that you would adopt? Just two.
Right.
What would you look at?
Right. Ma'am, one would be the economic might of the country, the GDP. I would be looking at the GDP first, ma'am. And secondly, I also be looking at the social indicators like education, especially, ma'am, and then health next, ma'am.
Neha, tell me what are your expectations from budget with regards to spending on higher education?
Right. Ma'am, I expect that there should be more inculcation of vocational education and skilling within the higher education excellence, ma'am. And there should also be encouraging participation of foreign universities that are coming to India through the NEP platform as well, ma'am.
All right. Now, if I say that
Yes.
I feel that countries or cities that have better made and well-lit footpaths are safer for women as compared to cities who do not have good footpaths. Would you agree with me?
Ma'am, I will agree, ma'am. I would feel more safer in a well-lit place, ma'am.
Well-lit and more footpaths. Tell me why.
Ma'am, I think women travel more on public transport and reach homes through footpaths. So I think having well-lit footpaths is necessary for women's safety.
Tell me, is making public transport free for women a step towards women empowerment, or do you find it unnecessary?
Ma'am, I think making public transport free for women is a step towards better mobility for women, ma'am. One, it can ensure that women reach safely to their workplaces, and there's lesser spending on the transport and commute, so that they can spend it on other social indicators. I, in fact, heard of an account where an individual who's living in Delhi had not visited India Gate before a free bus transport, ma'am. But I think there is a need for a more targeted subsidy where the women with lower incomes are compensated. There were cases where a woman wanted to buy a ticket and was not given a ticket, ma'am. So I think there is a need for more targeted approach here.
Neha, tell me how important is entertainment with regards to empowerment of women?
Ma'am, I think entertainment is needed for a individual to compensate and to survive throughout life, ma'am. Everybody should and has a hobby, ma'am. So I think that is necessary. And secondly, to entertainment itself is an industry where women can work in, ma'am. So I think entertainment is necessary, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Neha. So
Thank you.
over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, Neha, will place you in the waiting room and we'll bring you back for the feedback. Neha ji.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, it is over. Formal part, we relax.
Yes, sir.
Now, today you're at point well. I mean, there's no doubt. When is your interview?
So February 8th, sir.
So long time, almost a month. Now, today's interview, what is your impression about today's your auditor?
Right. So when it came to political questions, I was a little not very good at my expression, my articulation part, sir. And I also had to recall a few concepts of economics. Yes, sir. These were my
Yes,
observations so far.
you have done very well. I mean, you have done quite well. Very
Right.
nice. Your good part is you are not fibbing. You are not saying which you don't know. I mean, you are admitting that that is the way. I mean, very politely and say, sorry, sir, I can't recollect or something, which is quite good. Now,
Right.
many things, I mean, something like HDI, India's position there, total number, these are actually expected to know. I mean, people are
Yes.
expected to know. So, those
Yeah.
are the, I mean, see, it's very difficult to remember everything.
Right.
The knowledge has no boundary. Internet like this. Chat GPT times there is no boundary. But then some things like India, anything in your depth, be very, very particular about anything, your optional subject or your hobbies, etc., your
Right.
state. Like I asked about Maharashtra because Maharashtra, you said it is a little unusual. So that's why Maharashtra, the your own state, Tamil Nadu. So all
Right.
these are connected. So those you have to have complete thorough knowledge. Anything,
Right, sir.
anything that don't miss out even on a single point. Then about many things you could not ask about. Ma'am asked, of course, a little bit about economy and Indian generally.
Right. Sir.
Then your own state.
Right.
The own state, what are the development indices? India, what are the development indices? Vis-a-vis Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu had, where do they find their place in the entire Indian thing?
Right.
So like that, and subject, of course, you did that, like your psychology, I suppose, did well.
Right.
So whatever you know, you are straight saying, but sometimes you a little just you letting it flow out. No, you just listen carefully, process that in the mind's computer,
Right.
then point wise. First, I want to submit. Second, sir. Third, sir. Fourth, 3-4 important points, then stop.
Right.
You know how to stop also. How to
Right.
start.
Sir.
No introduction, no conclusion. You have done all that in the mains. Now,
Right.
we point. Whatever you say, point wise. Now, suppose you got a 30-40% chance of you remembering. You say, take their approval. Can I guess, sir or ma'am? They give you permission, then you can guess, but not without their permission.
Right.
If it doesn't tick, it doesn't tally, then it's very bad impression. So
Right.
that you say you are not trying to guess also.
Right.
And very nice. I mean, we don't accept that you've got time. So brush up all your this thing. English in Thomas Hardy, of course, is a little difficult because you are a girl. Of course, the boys normally fond of Thomas Hardy novels.
Right.
But this Jane Austen is very nice. The Charles Dickens,
Right.
they are classical thing.
Yes.
Charles Dickens. So like simply, and they may also ask what is the last novel you read. May ask. So
Right.
just some novel, so
Yes.
that you can't say I read around 5 years ago or something.
Right.
Something maybe if you can manage that.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to ask? Anything you want to ask?
So regarding the question for regional parties and national party, how to increase the national parties into the Tamil Nadu sphere, I was little flustered there. How do I answer that, sir?
Sir, aap jara.
Neha, that was a difficult question for a very bright student.
Right, sir.
So you are one of the bright students, so I asked that question.
Right.
It's a difficult question to answer, but basically you could have said this is a hypothetical situation. You could have said that why a prime minister from Tamil Nadu can't be there.
Right, sir.
This is like how a state can come into the mainstream.
Right.
When 2% population of 6 can give a prime minister, why Tamil Nadu, a person from Tamil Nadu can't become a prime minister? One time, Raja Rajgopalachari was Governor General of India. He was one of the competitors for the prime ministership. Again, Kamraj was a competitor for the prime ministership. So
Right.
that type of response could have come from you
Okay.
to better what you said.
Right.
That why the Hindi heartland 90% time will give a prime minister. Why even this present prime minister has to fight election from UP,
Right.
even being a Gujarati. So that
Yes.
type of reply can improve what you said. Otherwise,
Okay.
you were quite good.
Yes. Ma'am, and I have a question for regarding how I answered the developmental indicators. I yes. Ma'am.
Yes, Neha, that is basically an opinion-based question, so you can't go
Okay.
wrong there. But yes, GDP, per capita income,
Yes.
and then education. These are the best measures that we take into account.
Okay.
Education is the single most important measure. You answered
Okay,
well.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So thank you, Neha. All the best. You will do well. I mean, you are depending on your mains how much. But this year, even standalone also, your first chance, first interview, and maybe first time you get into those coveted services. We were all very hopeful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason why you should not get into those coveted services. There's absolutely all of us are totally unanimous in that. So thank you. All the best.
All the best. All
Thank
the
you,
best.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.